What's going on is the objective jerk. And I'm said jerk, I guess. I don't know. I don't say that anymore, but I used to. What's going on, everybody? Hope all is well. Um, did I talk about that I got baptized? I can't remember if I mentioned it or not. I finally got baptized. I think I did. But so good thing. It's awesome. So I've taken communion twice now. And it's nice. Feels good, you know. Um, I was actually I just recorded a podcast. Was it yesterday? I think. So I wasn't really planning on doing one, but I never do. I don't plan it. You know, it's just whenever I'm inspired to do it. Basically, when I feel like talking about something, I read something, I hear something, I see something, and I'm like, "What the crap?" And I want to talk about it. Well, um, yeah, and the thing that sucks is like I have these plans today. Like I got some tomato plants I got to work with, and I'm gonna do a load of laundry for my son, and I don't know. I mean, nothing like I can still do it. It's not gonna be a problem. But it seems like whenever I kind of have a little bit of a planned day to do whatever, I get moved or inspired to do a podcast. So, because like I want to do another one actually, because I was sitting there thinking about I was having a conversation with my kids, and they're like, "Oh, you should do this and this and that," and I don't want to say too much. I'm going to save it for that podcast, which I don't know if I'm going to do or not, but let's see. But I've been kind of throwing them out like crazy. I think some people that listen to me regularly are like, "Dude, again? Come on." You know what I mean? Because they're like, nothing's being watched or listened to for the first whatever, and then all of a sudden it gets, so it's got legs, but not, not immediate. I mean, there are some, but anyway. The thing I wanted to talk about was, have you, or what? How would you feel aside from the Philippines? Because I got listeners all over the world, primarily the States, though, obviously. But how would you feel if your government removed a historical figure, George Washington for the States, or Benjamin Franklin or whatever, and I don't know who's on all the other, remove the historical figure of your country and then replaced it with, the country bird or a plant or a tree or whatever. You know what I mean? How would you feel about that? Would that bother you? Does it matter? Do you care? The reason I ask is, now I know people that listen to me in the Philippines know where I'm going with this. And it's not like I'm like, "Oh, this is breaking news." This has been going for a while. So again, it's backwards, my camera. But so this is the older 1,000 peso, right? And it has these individuals here that are on it. Okay, and these individuals were government officials at the time of like World War II, and they fought back against, the Japanese, whatchamacallit. I mean, I'm not sure about all of them. I know some are, or maybe they all did. But the point is like these individuals were looked at as heroes. They fought back against, evil tyranny, whatever you want to call it. And they ended up paying the price for it. And like some of them, if not all of them, they don't even know where they are or what happened to them. They got taken away and killed and buried in a mass grave somewhere. Who knows, So anyway, that's why they were put on this note, right? This bank note. I don't have the new one, but so they came out with a new note, which is like made out of like, it's really kind of strange. It's like I hate wearing my glasses because I can see. But it's really plasticky. I guess it's to kind of help with fraud, counterfeit. There we go. Counterfeiting, the bill, which, makes sense. But they removed these historical figures and they put the Filipino eagle, right? Which is an awesome bird, man. It's cool. And the new one looks cool, you know? Let me see. I'll like look it up. I mean, you can look it up, but I'll pull it up just to kind of. But the thing is, and I didn't think much about it. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, but I didn't really, I didn't, I didn't think much about it. This because this is not my homeland, it's not my country. I don't really like if I was, or even now, like if all of a sudden they're talking about removing George Washington or Abraham Lincoln or uh, uh, um, Andrew Jackson, Benjamin Franklin, whatever. They were like, oh, we're gonna remove him and put someone else. It's like, I don't think you should do that. Like if they want to add somebody, like if they want to add, like I get it, that's like a long time ago, and we've had some other people. Like if they want to add like Martin Luther King to something, I think that's great. I don't think they should replace. You know what I mean? They shouldn't remove George Washington. They shouldn't remove Benjamin Franklin, even though he wasn't a president. They shouldn't remove him. They should just put, if they want to add someone, then that's fine. But so hold on, I'm trying to. Oh, here we go. Let's bring it up. All right, so let's see. So here's kind of a. Well, let's see if I can get it bigger. But so basically, this is what the new one looks like, right? Again, it's reversed. I'm sorry. Like, it's really cool. I mean, people listen on the podcast, they don't care. But so it's got this little clear window area. And, so here's the old one, which is, paper. And then there's a new one, which is really plasticky, which is kind of strange, but okay, I get it. And the eagle is it's a cool freaking predatory bird. Like, it's cooler looking than the American bald eagle, I think. I think they're bigger too, actually. But so like I said, I didn't think much about it, right? And then I heard recently that they're redoing all of the bills here in the Philippines. And they're going to be doing the same thing. And I was like, really? That's kind of crazy. And so I just started kind of looking into it. And that's when I found out the information. And I'm like, well, that's kind of messed up. Why didn't they just, instead of removing these individuals, put the bald eagle in the back, or the Filipino eagle, like on the back, or maybe even move them to the back and then put the eagle in the front if they want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because now, because when kids would like sit there and be like, Mom, Dad, who are these people? Why are they on the money? Maybe the parents don't know, but whatever. But it's it helps people to remember them. And these individuals sacrificed a lot, and cared about their country. And you're just kind of removing that. It's kind of like, it's messed up. It's not right, I don't think. And then they're going to do it to the other ones too. Like, who's on? So here's like 100 peso. I can't even read that. See, these are all individual. I don't know, but I did a quick search on the three that are on the 1,000 peso, and yeah, I think it's kind of messed up, right? So I was like, well, I'm gonna see what's it all about. So then I pulled up a few articles and read over some, and there was a lot of people that were pissed off about it. And there's this and that. Oh well, blah blah blah, whatever. But this is what I needed right here. When I asked the Banco Central, which is like the bank, whatever, why the buy-in.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thanks again for listening to The Objective Jerk. I greatly appreciate it. If you could like, subscribe, comment on wherever you're finding this, and you can also email me at theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. So hope you're enjoying it, and please continue on with the episode. buy-in. See, I don't know what the hell this is. Aquinitas from the 500 peso bill. Anyway, okay, so anyway, they asked them why they were doing this in a written statement or whatever, or a statement replying saying principles of social relevance and inclusivity. Inclusivity. So wokeness, basically. Woke, stupid crap. That's like, I mean, it's like almost removing George Washington and putting George Floyd on the $1 bill or something. It's like, oh, we need to. I don't know. It's just like I can, Martin Luther King. There are some people that, years later that could be added to the money, but I don't think you should remove the other individuals. There's a reason. Or maybe is it stupid? And I have no idea, but can you not have a couple versions of the $1 bill or whatever, and so you can have, oh, look, I got the one with, Martin Luther King. Oh, here's George Washington or whatever. Same thing, I mean, I guess that's more money and trying to harder, or maybe it's makes things difficult for, I don't know. But it just seems like people are just trying to erase, the history of things. And it's like the inclusivity. It's like, oh, okay, so inclusive for what? How does that inclusivity for who? For what? So you're trying to get rid of people who gave their lives for this country and put the eagle on there to include, because there's people from an island that they don't have anybody famous or that did anything in their island and they feel bad for them. So let's try not segregate. Like what? Like how does that make any sense? Does that make sense to anybody? I don't get it. This is what I predict. The money's going to change again. Probably like by the end of Bon Marcus, I think I said that right. I bet you they're going to have plans to change it back, or there's going to be some whispers of changing the bill back and adding the people to it, or at least, like I said, put them back on the back of it. You can leave the eagle there, but on the back of it, put the people, put the same individuals there. They need to be there, man. Because otherwise, nobody's going to know who they are. So I am slowly, very slowly, working on kind of just making some t-shirts, right? I think I talked about it, but I used to do graphic design and I used to do screen printing for other things. I never did much with shirts. I mean, I played around a little bit, like a friend of mine did it or something. But anyway, so I'm like, I want to make some kind of shirts, and one of the things I was designing for one of my shirts was a individual that's from where I live, and he's like looked at as the godfather. I think they say godfather of the Philippine army, So he was a soldier from a long time ago who helped establish and create the Filipino army. And I mean, they have a little park here where I live, and they got a statue of him, right? So I found a picture of him and changed it up a little bit, and I put it on the shirt, and I put one of his quotes on it, and I was kind of like showing it to people, and most everybody didn't know who he was, and I was just like, wow, man, that's kind of like people in the States not knowing who George Washington is, and I'm sure there's a lot of people actually, you know what I mean? Because the school system just sucks. The people don't realize what the woke is. It's a mind virus. It's a cancer. It's destroying culture. They think they're like, oh, we're including people and we're trying to. They're trying to. No, they're just. That's destroying everything. Destroying everything. Look at the fires going on in California. So I didn't. I was kind of late to this too. I didn't. I mean, I guess it just kind of started, sort of, but the fires are like LA or Southern. No, what is it? It's not Pasadena. Is it Pasadena? Anyway, Southern California is being ravaged like Maui, by fires, right? They don't have the water to fight it, and then they don't have the firefighters either. They're saying like they don't have enough firefighters. And that's because of the woke bullshit. They hired a dumbass woke fire chief, lesbian chick, who cares more about hiring diversity and more women than having a trained fire department that actually has the capabilities and logistics to fight a fire if and when it happens. That's what you need. And it's just simple governance. Like we need to make sure we have water, so if a fire happens we can take it out. And we need to make sure we have enough firefighters, because they don't want to hire men. They don't want to hire white men, so they don't have as many firefighters. And then even like Trump, there's videos of Trump talking about it back when he was president, how California sucks at, you got to do control burns. You got to get rid of all the dead stuff that falls down in your woods, because that stuff just piles up and piles up. And then when there's a fire, it's like gasoline. Your ground is covered in gasoline. It just burns. And they don't do that shit. They don't do it. Why? Because they're all a bunch of woke liberal retards running that area. Liberal, like straight up far left, liberal woke retards cannot govern. They can't. Look what happens. Everything falls apart and it's crap. Now, you can have some liberal individuals to kind of help influence certain things or whatever. That's fine. But this is what happens when you have retarded liberals running stuff. Everything's just failing. I bet you the next election, because you saw how red California was, right? I mean, you saw the whole country. It's all red, except for some counties. Some of the bigger cities are blue. But things like this, California is actually going to probably be full on red and is going to vote for a Republican next election. Like JD Vance is going to run and he's going to win, and he's going to win California. How much you want to bet? How much? Because the people even there, they're like, oh my God, this is retarded. How is the mayor of I want to say Pasadena, but I don't think that's what it is. Palisades. I think that's what it is. She's overseas in another country. Like, I don't know. And everybody's pissed. Like, they're all like, what? You are useless, She's probably going to lose her job, which is rightly, she should. The fire chief should lose their job. The fire chief's job should ensure, like, hey, we need to have water. Why don't we have water? We need to make sure we have water. All those people, that's the whole point of your job. You're, being in these positions is to ensure when things happen that, like, I don't know, like a lot of this is kind of like some of the stuff, it's insane. I don't know. And the fire probably started by some dumbass liberal thing trying to be like, oh, global warming. Look, it's global warming, a fire or some shit, I mean, they got videos of people starting fires on purpose, and I don't know. It's retarded. It's really dumb. That they can't put out some fires because they don't have water and they don't have the amount of people to fight those fires. Like it's good to, you should be able to, it shouldn't all just be white people in this and that. But the thing is like, dude, white people is the primary we're the majority. And people think like majority and minority means, no, it's because that's the most amount of people. The largest race in America is white people. So yeah, you're going to see, or you're going to have, statistically white people in these positions. You know what I mean? But I mean, like, I get that you should have the best person for a certain job. and the race should not matter. I totally agree with that. Sex or race should not matter. I don't want a trans person that, well, a trans person doesn't matter really either, to be honest with you. I don't care. I don't want like a drag queen, dressed up like all retarded and just, it's like, that's too much. But I mean, if you're good at your job and you do what is best for your community or whatever it is that you're presiding over, then yeah, you should. If it's they're trying to hire a bunch of women for firefighters. It's like, yes, I know. Well, I used to know a woman who was in the army with, and she's a firefighter. You know what I mean? And she was a badass soldier. I'm sure she's a badass firefighter. But not everybody is, and generally, women are not as strong as men. And those hoses are pretty damn heavy, and the pressure from that water is pretty strong. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it just these individuals get these positions and their only goal is just to get more women of color, more gay people, more. It's like, dude, okay, that's all fine. If they're qualified, then okay, fine. But the thing is like, people who are better qualified are not being hired because they're white, a white straight male. So like, all the stuff you guys are crying about, oh, we get overlooked because of race. And does it happen? Yes. Has it happened in the past? Of course. Especially back in the day. If you weren't white, you weren't getting shit. I get it. But two wrongs don't make a right. So because you're not happy with whatever, and then now you're going and doing the same thing, that's the thing that drives me nuts. It's like, you guys are creating segregation and making racism just as bad as it was back in the day, but now it's reversed. But they're like, oh, so you've had it. It's like, these people are mentally ill and they're stupid and they're retarded. They're actually retarded. I would rather have an individual with Down syndrome run my town, city, whatever, than these liberal retards, because they're actually retarded. I don't know. To have Down syndrome, dude. If you watch, what's his name? There's a comedian who, he's got an uncle that's Down syndrome, and it's in his jokes all the time. And he's like, dude, they got the best life. You know what I mean? He's like, I could be so lucky to have Down syndrome. I mean, as long as they got someone to take care of them. But there's a dude in the neighborhood nearby that has Down syndrome. This dude, and he's awesome, man. And all he does is walk around the neighborhood. He's like listening to music, and he sits there and like he's dancing and whatever. And then he goes and plays basketball, and he's like badass at basketball, running around in flip flops, playing basketball. And it's like, he got no worries. He's happy. He's fine. He's got his music and he plays basketball. As long as he's got somewhere to sleep and some food to eat, I think he don't have a care in the world. I would rather him be the mayor of where I live than some stupid liberal retard that doesn't know what is actually needed for the city or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, come on. How does that make sense? See, this is the thing. If they hired all these women and gay and whatever this and that, and then they were able to crush this fire and everything worked out great, then cool, great. Hey, you're doing your job and you're including other people and whatever. Okay, fine, whatever. But and this is not like the first and only thing. How many things across the country, how many individuals who, like, there's that stupid mayor and whatever that just totally, it's just, dude, everything. Even if I hated Trump, he's right. Everything that's woke turns to shit. Oh my gosh. You can't have liberalism. You can't have woke. You can have a little lefty, you can have some left-wing kind of leaning ideology. Like, I get it. Like, it's about, but like, man, you just can't have it's just, I don't know. I can't. But, it's changed. Look at Trump I'm not the only person. Trump was voted. I'm telling you, California is going to be red. Watch. This is going to be because then people are like, well, now you're going to have like the liberal. God, I look tired as hell. You're going to have the liberal conspiracy theorists. Well, I bet you it was Republicans that started the fire to make them look bad or something. You never know. What if it is? What if this whole thing? What if wokeness was actually built and created by the right wing to show how, you know what I mean? When this, and it just comes back around, and I don't know, who knows? That'd be crazy. But anyway, it's been a long. Okay, I'm way over my time, so that's it. Thanks for hanging out, listening to me. Hope everybody's doing well. God bless, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye. You just put yourself through another episode of The Objective Jerk. Thanks again for hanging out with me. Please email me at theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, comment, wherever you find this, follow. It all helps. But thanks again, and I'll see you next time.